One of YouTube's biggest off-road recovery channels just lost its most important member, and the real story behind Tom Maddock's departure from Matt's off-road recovery is more complex than anyone realizes. This isn't just about another crew member moving on. This is about a nuclear engineer who gave up everything for his childhood friend, only to walk away from millions of views. The truth involves government-level security clearances, 30-year friendships, and business decisions that shocked everyone in the off-road community. What really happened to Tom? Tom goes deeper than anyone expected. Tom Maddock wasn't your typical YouTube personality scraping for subscribers and chasing viral moments. While most content creators were filming TikTok dances and unboxing videos, Tom was literally working with radioactive materials at one of America's most classified research facilities. The Idaho National Laboratory isn't some community college workshop. We're talking about a government facility where they design nuclear reactors and conduct radiation experiments that could change the world. For 16 grueling years, this guy was designing components that had to survive nuclear attack environments. Think about that for a second. Tom was creating equipment that needed to function even if someone dropped a nuke nearby. His daily routine involved managing research projects on reactor technology, overseeing equipment installations worth millions of dollars, and working with materials so dangerous that one mistake could contaminate entire regions. The credentials behind Tom's expertise are absolutely insane. Master's degree in physics? Check. Another degree in nuclear engineering? Double check. This isn't someone who watched a few YouTube tutorials and called himself an expert. Tom spent years studying the fundamental forces that power stars and learning how to harness that energy safely on Earth. His LinkedIn profile reads like a sci-fi movie: project manager for advanced reactor systems, cognizant systems engineer for safety-critical nuclear equipment, and experiment manager for irradiation testing. But here's what makes his story even more wild. Tom wasn't just another government employee collecting paychecks and counting down to retirement. He was actively involved in cutting-edge research that pushed the boundaries of nuclear technology. We're talking about someone whose work could have influenced national energy policy and military defense systems. The guy was literally helping shape America's nuclear future, and he walked away from all of it for YouTube videos about pulling stuck trucks out of sand dunes. What most viewers never understood about Tom's relationship with Matt is that their bond runs deeper than any business partnership or YouTube collaboration. These two weren't strangers who met through the algorithm and decided to make content together. They've been brothers in everything but blood since That's 3 decades of shared history, inside jokes, and trust that you can't fake for cameras. Matt has been brutally honest about how much he's relied on Tom's brainpower over the years. Since the Clinton administration, every major decision Matt made went through Tom first. Want to start a recovery business? Tom helped plan it. Thinking about buying new equipment? Tom ran the numbers. Considering a crazy fabrication project that could kill someone if it went wrong? Tom engineered it to work safely. This wasn't just friendship. Tom was Matt's personal think tank. The history between them goes back to when YouTube was just a wild dream, and neither of them imagined making money from videos. They grew up together in Utah, probably getting into the same kind of off-road trouble that would later make them famous. Tom watched Matt struggle through the roofing business, supported him through tough times, and celebrated every small victory along the way. When Matt started pulling people out of sticky situations for free, Tom was there offering technical advice and moral support. But here's where their dynamic gets really interesting. Tom never needed Matt's success. While Matt was grinding through blue-collar jobs and trying to figure out his next move, Tom was climbing the ladder at one of America's most prestigious research facilities. He had job security, government benefits, and the kind of career that impresses people at dinner parties. The fact that he eventually left all that behind shows just how deep their friendship really goes. Tom didn't need Matt's YouTube money. He joined because he believed in his friend's vision. The decision to leave his prestigious engineering career wasn't made lightly, and the financial sacrifice Tom made is absolutely staggering when you break down the numbers. Nuclear engineers at the Idaho National Laboratory don't work for chump change. We're talking 6-figure salaries, comprehensive government benefits, pension plans that guarantee comfortable retirement, and job security that most people can only dream about. Tom was essentially set for life in a career that commanded respect and offered stability. But when Matt's channel started exploding and pulling serious numbers, Tom faced an impossible choice. His childhood friend was building something special, but he needed technical expertise to take it to the next level. Matt's crazy ideas for recovery vehicles were exactly that, crazy. Without someone who understood engineering principles, stress analysis, and material science, Tom saw the potential, but he also saw the risks of Matt attempting complex fabrication projects without proper technical guidance. The move from Idaho to Utah represented more than just changing jobs. Tom was gambling his entire professional future on YouTube's success. Government engineers don't typically leave secure positions to join their friends' internet businesses. The career trajectory he abandoned would have led to senior management positions, classified projects with national security implications, and the kind of professional legacy that gets written about in engineering journals. What made his decision even more remarkable was the timing. This wasn't a desperate career pivot or an escape from a failing situation. Tom was thriving at the lab, respected by his colleagues, and working on projects that genuinely mattered for America's energy future. He had everything most people want from their careers: meaningful work, excellent compensation, and clear advancement opportunities. Walking away from that level of professional success to help a friend make YouTube videos about stuck vehicles was either the smartest gamble in internet history or complete madness. What most viewers don't realize is that Tom's fingerprints are all over every single vehicle that made Matt's channel legendary. And without his nuclear engineering background, those iconic recovery rigs would have been expensive death traps. The Banana, the MRV, the Heavy Wrecker. These aren't just modified trucks with bigger tires. Tom engineered these machines using principles he learned designing equipment for nuclear facilities, applying the same precision and safety standards to off-road recovery that he used for radioactive material handling. Tom's technical expertise transformed Matt's wild ideas into actual functioning vehicles. When Matt wanted to build the world's largest off-road wrecker, most people would have laughed and walked away. Tom did stress analysis calculations, designed custom suspension components, and figured out how to make a massive recovery rig that could handle extreme terrain without killing its occupants. His nuclear background meant he understood load distribution, material fatigue, and failure analysis at a level that turned dangerous concepts into reliable machines. The fabrication skills Tom brought to the team weren't learned in some weekend welding class or YouTube tutorial. Nuclear facility work demands perfection. When you're building components that will be exposed to radiation and extreme temperatures, there's no room for mistakes. Every weld has to be flawless, every measurement precise, and every design decision thoroughly analyzed. Tom applied this same meticulous approach to Matt's recovery vehicles, which is why they've survived years of abuse in conditions that would destroy ordinary equipment. But Tom's contributions went far beyond just building vehicles. He helped Matt understand the engineering principles behind successful recoveries, taught him about proper rigging techniques, and provided the technical knowledge that made their rescue operations both effective and safe. The smooth professionalism that made Matt's recoveries look easy was actually the result of Tom's careful planning and engineering expertise, working behind the scenes to minimize risks and maximize success rates. Signs of trouble started appearing long before anyone officially announced anything, and viewers who paid close attention noticed subtle changes in the dynamic between Matt and Tom throughout 2023. The easy chemistry that made their collaborations entertaining began feeling forced and scripted. Tom's screen time decreased noticeably, and when he did appear in videos, his enthusiasm seemed muted compared to the infectious energy he'd shown in earlier content. Industry insiders started whispering about creative differences that weren't making it into the public videos. Tom's engineering background made him naturally cautious and methodical, preferring to plan projects thoroughly and execute them safely. Matt's content strategy, however, increasingly focused on dramatic rescues and entertainment value that pulled massive view counts. The tension between Tom's technical perfectionism and Matt's need for engaging content created friction that became harder to hide from cameras. Tom started investing more energy in his own fabrication projects, launching Tom's Shop as both a YouTube channel and an actual business. This wasn't just a side hustle. Tom was building serious shop infrastructure and developing client relationships that suggested he was planning for independence. His personal projects became more complex and ambitious, almost like he was proving he could succeed without the Matt's off-road recovery platform. The timing of Tom's increased focus on his own ventures coincided with Matt's channel hitting its biggest growth phase, which created an uncomfortable dynamic. While Matt was celebrating subscriber milestones and sponsorship deals, Tom was quietly building an exit strategy that would let him maintain financial independence. Sources close to the situation suggest Tom felt constrained by the direction Matt wanted to take the content, preferring serious fabrication work over the entertainment-focused recovery videos that were generating the most revenue and audience engagement. The official story sounds clean and simple. Tom wanted to focus on his own business ventures and pursue independent fabrication projects. But when you dig deeper into the timing and circumstances, the departure reveals more complexity than either party has publicly acknowledged. Tom launched his independent operation right as Matt's channel was hitting its biggest growth phase and generating serious revenue. That's not coincidence. That's strategic planning by someone who saw an opportunity to capitalize on his reputation and expertise. Tom's decision to leave wasn't driven by financial desperation or lack of success within the Matt's off-road recovery ecosystem. His fabrication skills and engineering knowledge made him incredibly valuable, and he could have continued earning substantial income as a key member of Matt's team. Instead, Tom chose independence, suggesting he wanted creative control over his projects and the ability to pursue work that aligned with his technical interests rather than entertainment demands. The business model Tom developed with Tom's Shop demonstrates sophisticated planning that goes far beyond casual YouTube content creation. He established a legitimate fabrication business capable of handling serious custom projects, built relationships with clients who needed actual engineering solutions, and created content that showcased his technical expertise rather than just entertainment value. This wasn't someone jumping into YouTube hoping for viral success. Tom was building a sustainable business based on real skills and professional reputation. What makes Tom's departure particularly interesting is how he managed to maintain positive relationships while establishing complete independence. He didn't burn bridges or create drama that would hurt either his or Matt's reputation. Instead, Tom executed what amounts to a textbook example of how to leave a successful partnership while preserving goodwill and setting up future opportunities. The nuclear engineer who once gave up government job security for YouTube friendship proved he could navigate complex business relationships just as skillfully as he handled radioactive materials. Today, Tom's Shop has carved out its own space in the fabrication world, pulling in viewers who appreciate his methodical, engineering-focused approach to building custom solutions. His YouTube channel showcases the kind of technical content that attracts serious fabricators and engineers rather than casual entertainment seekers. Tom's audience might be smaller than Matt's massive subscriber base, but it's highly engaged and represents the kind of customers who pay premium prices for quality fabrication work. The business side of Tom's operation proves his departure wasn't just about creative differences. He's built a legitimate enterprise that generates revenue from actual fabrication projects, not just YouTube ad money and sponsorship deals. His shop handles everything from custom off-road vehicle modifications to specialized equipment manufacturing, leveraging his nuclear engineering background to solve problems that challenge most fabricators. Clients aren't just paying for welding services, they're buying access to Tom's analytical approach and precision engineering skills. His relationship with Matt remains publicly cordial, and both parties have handled the separation with remarkable professionalism. They still interact on social media. Tom occasionally references his MOR days positively in his content, and there's no evidence of the bitter disputes that often destroy business partnerships. This suggests their friendship survived the business changes, even if their professional paths diverged. What's most impressive about Tom's current situation is how he's maintained authenticity while building independence. His content reflects his genuine interests in fabrication and engineering, rather than chasing algorithms or trending topics. The nuclear engineer who once gave up government-level job security for YouTube friendship has created something uniquely his own, proving that sometimes the most shocking career moves lead to the most authentic success. Tom's Shop represents what happens when real expertise meets entrepreneurial vision, and the results speak for themselves.